Are you hungry? Because if so, you're in the right place. Today we're making fried pickled salmon.
Give me something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. Well, I got the idea. There's this Japanese guy on YouTube that does amazing Japanese cooking, Ryosei. I'll put the link down in the description to him. And he made pickled, he called it Japanese pickled salmon or something like that. And I saw that and got really inspired because in Sweden we have something called Stekt Inlagd Strömming, which is basically a herring fish that you also fry and then you pickle it. So similarities but differences. And I'm kind of combining a bit of both worlds, so it's Swedish, Japanese now. But before we have a look at the ingredients, do me the huge favor. If you're not a subscriber to the channel yet, please do so by hitting that subscribe button and checking the bell icon so that you get a notification every Tuesday when a new episode comes out. But now let's have a look at the board. So it's quite a lot of ingredients, but not very complicated. We have our salmon. I think this is about 600 grams. We have 150 grams of water, 150 grams of rice vinegar, 150 grams of sugar. We have 10 grams of Katsuobushi, bonito flakes, and we have about, I weighed it was about 2 grams of Kombu. We also have 2 red onions, 2 bay leaves, some peppercorns, I will guess it's 20. We have a bit of salt, we have a bit of mirin, and we have a bit of soya. We also have some potato starch that we're going to use with the fish and we fry it. The first thing we have to do, we need to do some onion prep and some salmon prep. So we'll start with those two things, onions first and then salmon. So I've chosen red onions because that's the classical onion in Sweden when you do this. I think Ryosei used normal onion, and we're just going to slice it up, and that's all we need to do for the onion. So slice up your onion, and I'll see you again when we do the salmon. So I have a really nice piece of Scottish salmon. You can see they already cut off part of the kind of belly flap that's a bit thinner. And all we're going to do is we're going to maybe in about half a centimeter, 5 millimeter. We're going to slice these up. And once you're done with that, I'll show you what we'll do next. So we sliced our salmon. Get out a Ziploc bag or any kind of bag that you can close. Put some potato starch in there. There wasn't that much left in this bag, so I'll just empty it out. And now get your salmon in there. Close it up properly. And we shake it. This is an easy way to kind of flour salmon, or flour anything for that kind. Just put it all in a bag and shake it around. And now we can put that to the side and we'll make the marinade. Our pot is on. Put in our water and our rice vinegar, our kombu and our sugar. And the goal now is basically just to dissolve the sugar and bring it to a boil. It's boiling, we can turn it off. We'll get rid of the kombu. And instead we put in our katsuobushi. And now we will let this soak for a couple of minutes. So it really gets that katsuobushi umami flavor. It's been standing for about 5 minutes. Perfect. Now we're just going to sieve this, strain it. Make sure we press out the flakes. They have quite a lot of liquid in them. I'll see, we have quite a bit left here, so we'll get them in here as well. Would be easier with a larger spoon, but hey, and there we go. Now we're going to let this cool, and then we're going to pour it over here. As you can see, I put the bay leaves and the pepper in here as well. In the meantime, while this is cooling, we can continue with the salmon. Now, I'm doing it in a frying pan. You could do it in a pot as well. We're almost going to deep fat fry it. There's about maybe a centimeter of oil in there. So we'll let that come up to heat. 180 degrees, no more, Celsius. Our oil is up to speed. I'll get our salmon in here. We'll probably have to do it in 2 rounds. Start with that. Flip them over. If they should break up, it doesn't really matter. But it's nice if we can manage to keep them whole. Turn up the heat a little. Now, it's a bit out of camera, but I put some, well, you can see it on that camera. I put some kitchen paper here. I'm just going to put it over there. Oh. Like I said, ideally it doesn't break, but hey. Just dry it off the paper and then fry your next batch. And once you're done with that, I'll show you what we'll do next. We'll finish the pickling liquid with the soy sauce and the mirin. So I'll see you in, well, a second for you, but a couple of minutes for me. Now it's time to add our soy sauce, 40 grams about. Well, 50 grams. And 20 grams of mirin. $30 grams of mirin. Never have to worry too much about exactness. That's when you bake, then you have to worry about everything. You get the right amount of grams. Mix this up. Now I do this on purpose because I don't want the alcohol of the mirin to disappear. This is great. Now we move our salmon over. That's about what we will fit. Now it's time to add our pickling liquid. Now be careful because it's so full, so add it slowly. It's very potent, so we can't fill up with water. Add a little bit of water to this. There we go. Now we put on a lid. And turn it upside down. Make sure it goes everywhere. Mix the water with the pickling liquid. And don't worry, it's really potent, so it doesn't matter if we mix in a bit of water. Now we're going to put this in the fridge. It's going to stay in there for about 24 hours. So I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Well, I'll see you in a second, but that will be tomorrow afternoon for me. What you can do is, if you think about it, just turn it in the fridge, maybe 2-3 times. Like that, it will mix really nicely. But I'll see you tomorrow, or in a second. Now this has been marinating now for 24 hours. But if you leave it longer, it would even taste better. But 24 hours is a good time. We're not going to serve it up. But before we serve it up, if you stuck with me this far, there must have been something you enjoyed about this episode. So do me the huge favor and hit that thumbs up button. It's down there, takes you a second, but it's so valuable to me to get my content out there in the YouTube universe. And now let's plate this up. We're just going to grab a couple of nice slices. We'll try to take some that did not break. I think maybe 3 would be a good portion. Like so. And now we're going to dig in for those beautiful pickled red onions. I wouldn't say they're the best part of this dish, but they're a very good part. And we need a spoon to get some of that nice pickling juice. Maybe 2 spoonfuls. And just because it looks nice and tastes good, we'll finish it off with some chopped chives. Now let's give it a try. So let's get in here. Get a piece with some red onion. This is really good. And it's a perfect combination of Sweden and Japan.
Now you could serve this with some plain rice, a bit of salad, or like in Sweden, on Swedish hard thin bread with butter. I don't know what it's called in English actually. In Sweden, we call it knäckebröd. It's like really hard, crunchy, thin, round, normally round bread. Salty, sweet, sour. You have a nice umami from that Katsuobushi and obviously some soy sauce and mirin. That's really a feel-good dish. It makes you feel happy. And it's so easy, and it just gets better the longer you keep it in the fridge. Well, to a certain extent, right? But you can easily keep this for a week in the fridge. So good. And you don't have to make it with salmon. I can imagine this would be amazing with something like a mackerel as well, or as you do it in Sweden with herring. A simple, down-to-earth dish that has a bit of a punch to it. It's really nice, perfect for like breakfast as well. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this recipe, please do leave them in the comments below. I always answer them. But that's pretty much it. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel yet, don't forget, hit the subscribe button and check the bell icon so that you get a notification. But now it's time to say goodbye. Take care. Bye-bye.